So from the jobs scene and everything, and from the industrial development, I'm inspired to share the thoughts on the over-earning trap. So we've heard the stories of a lot of Bollywood people. Shah Rukh Khan, I've heard him so many times. It pisses me off every time I listen to him. The dialogue plays in my head. Each time I think about it, my father was a very poor man. So when I came to Bombay, I stayed in a very small house, and I stayed in a very small apartment. My wife followed me here and stuff like that. But that's the reality and journey of a lot of people. It's not just him. So he's built himself on that, that narrative of his and stuff. But if you're going to be following a lot of global leaders, if you're going to follow a lot of people who build brands, who've done dynamic changes or stuff like that, also started very small. You don't have to go far. You can look at the president and the prime minister of our country and stuff. You can see their backgrounds, and you can see the humble beginnings of most of the leaders and business owners that you have, leaving aside Bollywood, because that's not really of my interest in stuff. And coming back to the point is the over-earning trap. So people get into this loop of narratives that they've not earned well, they've had a tough childhood, and they've not had a great childhood and stuff. So they're banking and building on that and stuff. And a lot of people take inspiration from stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong in it. But the point is that having an over-earning trap, or a trap of greed, and owning more than what you can manage and balance, is something which one must take into consideration before they even think about getting into a job, or getting into a role, or into a position of power, or whatever. So this is what the author says. She's also from a design and architect point of view. And her perspective is that, hard work does pay off. So when she was a kid, her parents would kind of randomly boast about to other children about how smart and how talented the children were. Little did she realize that they were the children of other people also, who were doing equally smart and stuff, but the focus was consistently only on their children. So she says that, at work, people regularly experience this wasted effort, where psychologists call over-earning as the fad and the fashion and stuff. And I don't think it holds relevant to everybody and anybody, because when you get into a parallel job, let's say you're a musician, or when you're an artist, when you're a author, this whole perspective of over-earning and building only brands on earning too much of money doesn't come into the play. So she says, as a musician, it is so relaxing. I kind of spend my leisure time to gain some music and have some chocolate. And when I'm tuned into the music and stuff, I stop the music and I start enjoying the chocolate. And I see other people who are in their competitive natures, and who are kind of involved in over earning and stuff like that. If I were to give them a chocolate, they have a pretty disgusting reaction to this and stuff, because they're so taken in by just earning their money, and they don't want to enjoy the moment, and they don't want to enjoy the pleasant music and stuff like that. So you see this in your office as well, that sometimes when you go to a person and you're kind of being cheerful about it, or you're kind of wanting to give them a chocolate, or you want them to have a welcoming break, they get upset with you, because they're not able to come out of their autopilot mode or the state of mind they're in and stuff. So this is what they recommend, that if you're going to be kind of enjoying something, you might as well do it joyfully, and rather than looking at spending your time and money only on the competitive nature of jobs and stuff like that. It's always a good idea to look at the softer elements which are making your work look like play and stuff. And he's also recommending that do not trade any activity you love to pursue for a reward as an incentive. Do what you love, be mindful and be aware of what you truly want to do, and truly protect yourself from falling into the trap of chasing the wrong goals that you're going to regret later. So if your ambition is not to be a Bollywood star, if your ambition is not to be a Hollywood star, it is advisable to follow good stories of maybe the top 10 MNC heads of the country, of the world, the best of the people in their own areas of work and stuff. And then you will have the reality check that Rome was not built in a day, and okay, let's take it in a positive way. Shah Rukh Khan did arrive in Bombay immediately, so there's a lot of frustration behind his story, there are a lot of tears and stuff like that, or whatever. That is his personal story and narrative or whatever. But the point is this: when you look at the healthier options of global head, global leaders, you look at economists, you look at founders and CEOs who are heading the top brands of the world and the country, you will know that Bollywood narratives and physical appearances alone don't help, so you have to have an acumen, you have to be actually guided by intellectualism, you have to be guided by information, you have to have more regards for education and reading up, researching in stuff and spending some time on creative stuff. And obviously, I mean, you have to kind of include the work-life balance in it. And work-life balance doesn't mean that आपने मतलब जितना काम करा है उसके हिसाब से वो work-life balance है. The point is you have to be balanced yourself, okay? So no matter what kind of work you're doing or what kind of challenges come your way and stuff, you have to be a balanced person. Whether you have a job or not, or whether you're kind of gainfully employed or not, is a different story altogether. But balance, in my knowledge, does not mean just being professionally balanced. Balance means having a balance of everything you do. So balance means as a person you're balanced. As a person who is in charge of situations, you're balanced. Your decisions are neutral. You're not overreactive.